Hello everyone, I am Redbeak Raven and welcome to 2016. Sounds like I've been here before you, in which case the game is up. Yes, I am a Time Lord. Let's not discuss the matter any further. So another year of gaming has come and gone. 2015 was a much better year than the previous, although it did have a few disappointments. God, I wish Star Wars Battlefront was good. Anyways, in this video I am going to be highlighting what games I am looking forward to the most this year and what games that I think might be worth adding to your watch list. So in no particular order, let's start with Dishonored II. The first game was great, I loved the setting, it had a brilliantly designed steampunk world inspired by 19th century London, it had excellent stealth mechanics followed by a good story aided by some interesting characters to go with it. I only hope we see more of the same and better in Dishonored II. The game is set 15 years after the first one. A mysterious usurper has stolen the throne from Emily, thus forcing she and Corvo to journey to the city of Karnaca. Dishonored always told a story about corruption, so I wonder how different it would be now, especially since we can play two characters, Emily or Corvo. That's going to be interesting because I would like to see Emily's side in all of this. It would also make for some good multiple playthroughs. The next up is Doom. Now this is a reboot of the Doom series and the game was apparently in development for a number of years until it was restarted in 2011. Now I can't say I've played much of the series, in fact I only vaguely remember playing the first, but I am looking forward to seeing how it turns out as it looks brilliant and it's just the kind of game with no nonsense, no prattling about, just picking up your gun and shooting the shit out of everything. What's not to like about beating a demon with his own arm? Staying on the Bethesda track, Fallout 4's DLC and modding tools. I'm looking forward to seeing how some of the new stuff works in the creation kit and making a couple of things that I think need adding to the vanilla game, but as for the DLC, well I can't say a lot other than it's one of the main things that I'm looking forward to this year. Hopefully we'll get to see more of the Commonwealth, if not other parts of America, maybe New York, maybe something smaller, who knows. Now something that I think deserves everyone's attention is No Man's Sky, simply because what they have done here looks like it could be something revolutionary in the gaming industry, and I'm not the only one to say that. Simply looking at how big they've actually made it is gobsmacking. The wonder of discovery is enticing and it looks like we'll have our own truly unique experience, what with being able to discover and name things that we find in the galaxy. Galaxy is a term I use quite literally. It's impressive, but I'm sceptical about this. The question is, could it all be about exploring and nothing else to do other than that? Exploring a vast and detailed world is all good and well, but that can get boring after a while if there's nothing to go along with it. But we have yet to see more in the coming year, as this game has been predicted to be released this year. Up next is Mafia III. Now in my eyes, Mafia II had one of the best stories I've ever seen, along with a cast of well-written characters, some great gameplay, and it was quite immersive. Although it did have its flaws by having one of the poorest save systems I have ever seen, and upon the game's release it generated a fair amount of hate from GTA obsessed fans that thought it was basically a 1950s GTA style game, instead of the heavily story driven experience that it was. Although that could be blamed on the way they presented money in the game, as well as all the other little things such as being able to customise your character's clothes and buy your own weapons, but that just added to the immersion. However, it seems Mafia 3 may have the answer to those fans, as Mafia 3 appears to be more of an open world game. Our character can have his own little criminal empire, and it appears we have side missions to do, such as the hideouts that we can take over. Now this is my assumption at least, because it all could be part of one main story, and just have branching out little sub-missions that pave the way to completing one main goal. But still, not a lot is known about this game, even though it is predicted to come out this year, but nonetheless, it looks fantastic and I cannot wait for it. Now venturing away from the AAA titles, we come to Outlast 2. Now I really like horror games and I would be lying if I said it was to get scared, but the reason is I love the stories that these games have and the atmospheres that the developers create are just terrifyingly good. The worlds have interesting backstories and the first Outlast was no different. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Outlast 2, but not a lot is known at the moment other than it is not set in Mount Massive Asylum. But from the image here, it looks like it's mining related. So maybe it's going to be set in a mine or a creepy mining town. Whatever it is, I'm sure Red Barrels has some terrifying experiences in store for us. Following that is another horror game from an indie developer, Allison Road. Now it is unclear whether or not this game is actually going to come out this year, but I am hoping we'll at least see some concrete information about it. This started as a Kickstarter project for a horror game last year, and it was considered as a spiritual successor to PT, therefore getting it a lot of attention, and with good reason because it looks awesome. A 13-14 minute demo of the game was put up on YouTube showcasing it that has over 2 million views, and the Kickstarter was almost complete until Team 17, a British publisher and developer of the Worm series, decided to fund Allison Road's development. Therefore, getting more money, it should be a much better game than it already looked. Another crowdfunded project is Star Citizen. Now this is a game that I am very interested in and excited about. The developers started a crowdfunding campaign on their website and then Kickstarter. It raised over 2.6 million at the time it ended, and since 2013, 14 and 15, it has raised, as of January this year, $105 million. That's around an $80 million difference from the second highest crowdfunding project that has raised over $25 million for a low-cost, high-mileage vehicle. That is a staggering amount of money that has been donated by gamers, and I guess it just shows the passion and confidence that gamers have in this game. Now we come to the watch list. I'm going to start with We Happy Few. Now this is a first-person survival game that is currently in pre-alpha and it looks something different and unique. It's set in a dystopian alternate 1960s England, the people there are controlled by a drug called Joy, and the player takes the role of a downer, which is someone who refuses to take the drug and has to survive this crazy world by pretending to be high on Joy to blend in. You go through this game gathering food and supplies, so it's your basic survival elements with just a completely different twist, really. This was also a Kickstarter project that ended earning over $260,000 US. It also had some interesting rewards for its pledges. Up next is Heavy Rain for the PlayStation 4. Now Heavy Rain was one of my favourite interactive story-driven adventure games with some great characters, and it opened my eyes to more games like this. Although I'm not completely supportive of these remasters that keep appearing, although this is mainly a port to the PlayStation 4, but it's a thing to look out for if you've never played Heavy Rain. Now we come to American Truck Simulator. It's an anticipated parallel game to Euro Truck Simulator 2 by fans of the series. As the name speaks for itself, it allows our friends over the Atlantic pond to finally get to drive around in a big truck in their own country. Although I haven't played a great deal of Euro Truck Simulator 2, I am interested in this, as if they have designed some of the cities really well, then it will be great to see some of the iconic landmarks while driving around America. Although stick to a 5-second rule when looking out of the windows at landmarks, as you could find yourself coming up to a junction and, well, you can imagine what's going to happen then. Especially if you're on a multiplayer mode, in which case it does not end well. Following that is Roller Coaster Tycoon World. Now I personally have never played any of the games, but I have been told that they're good, especially number 3. As you can tell, it is a theme park construction management simulation game that has you building rides, shops and all that you would find in a theme park, maybe even some empty pop cans and rotten food that you'll find lying about as well. Whether it's that detailed, I don't know, but this is, or was rather, highly anticipated by fans of the series, as it has been over 12 years since the third game, not including the Nintendo and mobile version. Now it was supposed to release back in December 2015, but due to the beta feedback they decided to push it back to 2016 to make improvements and make the game a lot better. Players stated that it had no graphical options, and apparently the main component of the game, as the title suggests, is awful. The roller coaster building is, according to players, worse than the previous games. However, it is good to see that they're working on rectifying these issues, and we can only hope that upon the actual release of the game it's going to be good. So I do hope it turns out well. And now may I present Rocket League, a game that I'm sure we're all familiar with by now. A football with cars kind of game, and is surprisingly addicting and really good. And now finally Xbox users can also join the fun as well. This was announced at the Game Awards last year, however it will not support the cross-platform multiplayer that the PlayStation 4 and the PC versions have. This is due to Microsoft's policy of not allowing cross-platform play. Something that was also present at the 2015 Game Awards was Batman, a Telltale game series. Now I've only recently started playing Telltale games and I am enjoying my experience so far, and Batman is something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. There's not a lot of info on this game yet, other than it is expected to release this year. And now we come to Total War Warhammer. Now this is a turn-based strategy real-time tactics game that is drifting away from its usual historical setting and taking a turn towards fantasy fiction, something that I think fans have wanted to see in a Total War game for a long time. And from the various mods that have been created for other Total War games, that is what makes me lead to the assumption that it is something that's been wanted. For example, mods like Lord of the Rings. So it is more than likely fans wanted Creative Assembly to do something different. I am a big fan of Empire and Total War in general, so I am interested to see how this pans out. And going back to Bethesda, we have Elder Scrolls Legends. Now, I never knew until last year that digital card games existed to an extent where you actually buy the digital cards. To me, it's something that should be physical. However, I am interested just taking a look at what Bethesda is going to do with Legends. I doubt I'll ever really get into it, but I'm interested nonetheless. It would be better if they made it physical though, just saying. And next up is Half-Life 3. And I can't, oh no, wait, sorry, no, that's not happening anytime soon, probably never. Sorry, that was probably a crude joke, yeah. Anyways, that concludes my list of games that I'm wanting to check out this year. Of course, there are many other things such as Uncharted 4, Tom Clancy's The Division, Far Cry Primal, I guess I could say, For Honor, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and so many other titles that we have yet to see more of. Kingdom Come Deliverance is actually a title I should have mentioned, but hopefully you guys are intrigued to check it out as well as all the other titles that I've mentioned in this video. I hope this video has given you a perception of what 2016 is going to look like for gaming. To me, it looks like it's going to be a great year. Making this video has refreshed my memory on so many titles that I completely forgot about that are coming out this year, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you soon.